Madeline woke up every day with a smile on her face, ready to greet the day, ready to do whatever fun activity there would be at school. And now that's not the case. I mean, now I have to pull her out of bed every day. Well, what I want for her is what I would want for her if she were a typically developing child, and that is that I want her to have fun. I want her to get up every morning and not dread going to school. And that's how it was for a very long time. For the first couple of years, for kindergarten and for first grade, and I would say half of second grade, they tell her two different things in the same sentence. We want you to be independent and responsible and do as much as you can for yourself. Yet, we will not give you a laptop computer that you can take from classroom to classroom and take your own notes. You have to be humiliated and every day ask a different kid to take notes for you.
My name is Janice Hudes and I'm Maddie. Maddie's occupational therapist. I've been her therapist for the past school year, since September. I see Maddie twice a week for an hour each time. She's typing on an AlphaSmart computer, and that it goes up and down because she's a very distractible child.
We asked them for iWork for a laptop because it was hard for me to see the screen on my other computer, and the principal said it was too heavy, and I thought that was unfair. And just because it's too heavy doesn't mean I don't need it. But I have this little computer. It's called the AlphaSmart Pro, and it's like a very tiny computer, and it has a very thin computer screen.
Well, unfortunately, in the school setting, the occupational therapists are only allowed to focus on goals related to academics. OTs need to learn how to finagle that a little bit better, and their hands are tied, in many ways. I would like to see them focus on the social skills of the child more, and I think that that is allowed in the academic arena. And also maybe have some little group sessions with the child and some of their peers. When you're in a situation where you can't fit around the desks and the friends walk away from you, what do you do then? How can you do it without embarrassment? There are many concepts in math that Madeline is not grasping because of the memorization difficulties with short-term and long-term memory that go along with her brain injury, which is cerebral palsy. My husband, who's very astute, realized that Madeline never mastered the developmental milestone of counting on your fingers. Every other kid can get their hands out there, that's how they count. For Madeline, by the time she manipulates and gets 3 or 4 fingers out, she's forgotten what the problem is. So she can't even continue to calculate because she's so wrapped up in the physical issue of the contracture of her right or left hand.
And one of our students, Madeline Mead, has been with us all year, and she is a very good student and is definitely on level with everybody in the grade. The only things that we do that are different there are some modifications and adaptations that we do. Little things like blowing up the type in a workbook, so visually it's easier for her to read. And if she is interested in learning and she says she wants to be a teacher when she grows up, she needs to also give that piece of effort on her part, because we can present things in an acceptable form with type, being blown up or adapted, and parents can work with her at home. But if any student isn't buying in and isn't putting in their effort or their part, then you can't expect results. She's a very capable child and does very well in a mainstream classroom.
Right away when they tell me, oh, Madeline doesn't do this, she doesn't do that, she doesn't pay attention, she falls asleep in class. And when I do bring up, well, is she the only kid who doesn't pay attention or who falls asleep in class or who doesn't have this or that project done, then they confess, oh, well, no. But she's the only one who we have meetings about, so we'll just tell you. They never talk to Madeline about things she does outside of school. They have no idea that she can quote Broadway plays and sing practically every song. And these are the sort of things that are not measured and that she is not given credit for. When we have meetings, all I hear about is what's wrong with her. I never hear about what's right with her. And that really gets hard over and over. And that's what teachers of typical children need to understand, and special ed teachers and occupational therapists and physical therapists, and most of all, administrators. That's what they need to hear. I want to hear something nice about my child.